In this video, I'm going to discuss degree choice and advising. Now, I've listed that in that order because degree choice does have to come first. Your advisor cannot tell you what you want to do. You've got to make that decision for yourself ahead of time. So I think a lot of times we have career goals. We don't always know the best way to get to those career goals. That is a great place your advisor can help. On top of that, ACC or whatever your school might be, wherever you might go, these schools have career centers. You can go to a career coach and discuss with them what you want to do or what you might be interested in. Maybe you don't even know what you want to do. And that individual can really help you go through that process of finding the best career and the best way to get to that career. Your advisor can help you with that to some degree as well. We can't always connect your interests with your career as well as the career coach can. So I think a lot of times that is the best place to start. Think about what are your interests, what is it that you want to do, and then your advisor can really pick up there and say, all right, given that you want to go into this industry, this degree or this degree really might help you get there. Your advisor's job is to advise. It is not to create your schedule. We can't put you in courses because we don't know what your interests are. We don't know what you want to do. So you've really got to give some thought too to what are the things that interest me? What are the classes I would like to take? And sure, your advisor, whoever that might be, is going to step in and say, all right, well, this is our long-term goal. This is what we need to get to. These are classes to get there. But along the way, there are a lot of electives you can take to kind of sprinkle in there. So it is always a good idea to go into an advising meeting with some planning ahead of time. Go to a career coach, think about what is it that you want to do, what degree might best fit that, what classes interest you. There, the advisor can really pick up and give you a little bit more focus, kind of guide that decision making. At ACC, our registration opens late October, usually late March or early April. It is a good idea to meet with your advisor in the month leading up to that. So I'd recommend meeting with your advisor early October or early March. Your advisor typically will send out an email reminding you that advising is open and registration is coming up. And the reason I recommend that you meet with your advisor ahead of time, you want to register for those classes as soon as possible. Once you know what classes you want to take, you want to get in there as soon as possible. I've seen many times that students' preferred section or their course might just fill up. There might not be any more seats available. And so it's very important that you register early on to make sure that you get the courses that you really are interested in at the times that you want, the times that work best for you. So by meeting with your advisor in the month leading up to registration, you're going to make sure that you know exactly what classes you want to take. And that way, day one, when registration opens, you can get in there and you can register for your classes. At ACC, you do need to meet with your advisor in order to register. If you just try to register without meeting with your advisor, the system's going to say, sorry, you can't do it. You have to meet with your advisor first. So it's very important that you talk to that individual ahead of time. If you don't know who your advisor is, that information is on self-service. So if we look at self-service for just a minute, you're going to see your student planning information. This is really very relevant. This is going to be where you get to see your progress in your degree. This is also where we're going to see who your advisor is. You can plan your degree out. So I'd strongly recommend looking at these before you ever meet with your advisor. If you have trouble navigating these, talk to whoever, your instructor, your college coach, right, your academic coach, whoever it is you feel comfortable with in that academic setting. Just walk into the Student Success Center and say, hey, I don't know where to get my advisor. They can help you too. So there's a lot of resources, as we've already discussed on this campus, to help you get to where you need to be. These are great places to start, so you can start to develop what are those classes I need. One thing I see students do too is they kind of get stuck on one thing. I thought since I was in the third grade that I wanted to be an engineer, so that's still what I'm going to do. When you're in college, the whole point of college is to kind of learn about yourself too. You might realize, or you might think that, hey, I want to do engineering. And in college, you take that class, that intro to engineering, and you realize, you know what? This isn't what I thought it was. This isn't really what I want to do. Don't be afraid to change paths. That is sometimes the biggest hindrance to success. You might be in a program that you just don't care about. For instance, again, engineering. I thought I wanted to be an engineer, but I really don't like math. Well, that probably isn't a good fit then. Engineering is a lot of math. Or I really want to be a nurse, but you know what? I really get queasy when I see blood. Well, that's not a good fit. Then get back to the career counselor and talk about, well, what are some other options? What are some of my interests that do apply? So part of college, part of being successful is in learning. And some of that is learning about yourself, learning that, hey, this thing that I always thought I wanted to do, it really isn't for me. That's not where my interests lie. My interests have changed. It's just not what I thought it was, not my strongest area. And so don't be afraid to go to your advisor and say, you know what? I've made a decision. This is what I thought I wanted to do, but it's not anymore. This is that new thing I want to do. Or I'm not quite sure yet. I'm still kind of exploring that, and that's fine too. But don't get hung up on this is what I've always said I was going to do, so this is what I'm going to do. You've got to pick what interests you. You've got to go with your interests and with your strengths.